as MightyKiwi can actually take him out.
And spawning horizontal positions from MightyKiwi is the purple Terran Echo Esports' Azure.
Ah, yes. I see all these people with their trophies next to their bases, and I get all jealous. I'm like, no, I don't have one of those. Get one.
Yeah, I haven't played one since I got promoted to Masters. I'm too scared. Because like a lot of times, you get matched up with people who are like one league above you, one league below you, and I really don't want to play against like grandmasters and get wrecked in the tournaments.
Yeah, I haven't actually played any tournaments at all because I'm too I have bad enough ladder anxiety. Like I don't know if I can handle a tournament. It'd be too much stress.
I honestly just treat it like ladder because I mean you get ladder points from it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a big deal. You just have a bracket in front of you. It's very similar. You get to veto some maps out.
I was not aware. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and also having like tournaments as like a step up above ladder kind of like takes the pressure off just normal ladder for me a little bit. I treat ladder more as practice, and I like try the tournaments once in a while as like a bit more of a real thing. It's kind of nice.
That's a smart way about it.
Yeah, like I read it somewhere in like I think it was on like a Team Liquid forum post about ladder anxiety. How if you just change your mentality a bit about ladder and treat it more as practice rather than like the end all and be all of like my StarCraft. It just when I started doing that, it kind of took away the pressure I put on myself and stuff. I recommend it to anybody who's having trouble clicking that play button.
All about mindset, man. Sounds like you got it down pat.
No, a lot of times I still pussy out there. I like open StarCraft and I'm like, just watch some replays and try to improve that way.
Yeah, I find it hard to make myself play because it's all ZvZs and I'm really bad at ZvZ, so it just kills my motivation to play it at all. Hence the want to race switch, but I'm also bad at races, so. Anyway, there's a Reaper coming in here from Azure, just having a bit of a poke around. Almost gets one drone. Could get it later, I don't know. Depends how lucky he is. And Azure looks like he's just chilling, keeping it standard. No 3 racks Reaper this time. Gonna head up into his starport play as usual.
Yeah, on the other side of MightyKiwi, just working on that link speed. That's about to finish up. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take a third pretty soon as well. You know, with only one Reaper out on the map, it is pretty easy to kind of fend it off and take that third before the drone gets sniped off or anything like that. And I'm just curious to see what's going to come out of this starport. It looks like the tech lab has been left alone for these starports. I'm assuming this is going to be Banshee follow-up, maybe after this Widow Mine actually kind of tripping me out a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see a medevac after that Banshee maybe, or this could just be a defensive Widow Mine maybe for later use. A pretty interesting build from Azure, opting to kind of give up map control in the early game.
Yeah, it's a bit different from the other games that we've seen. I was kind of expecting him to do that elevator play again on this map because he did try it a couple of times against other opponents. But you know, you don't want to use the same build too many times, especially when you've still got round of 16 to play, and possibly round of 4 as well if you get that far. So may as well just throw a lot of different things at your opponents and mix it up a little bit. You know, it's good practice as well, even if they're not all builds you want to use when you're in the money. But we'll see if this Banshee is able to get much done. It will get spotted by an Overlord on the way over. But MightyKiwi has not dropped any blind spores or anything of the sort. So.
Let me see exactly why. Because he wants to get aggressive himself, morphing in a bunch of Banelings up that ramp, and that's going to roll up in. And without a bunker, this is actually going to hurt him quite a bit. Oh, nice last-minute split off of the Banelings. That could have been a pretty big shot there if he wasn't careful. These Banelings are just going to roll up the ramp now. This Banshee on the other side of the map trying to do some damage.
Oh, that entire wall goes down. But how fast can a Banshee kill slings?
Yeah, that's the question. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs at this stage, being maybe slightly too greedy. He went for that third command center before he added any more barracks, and he was kind of solely relying on his Banshees and his Widow Mine at the front to defend this kind of stuff, and it's not working out so far.
Oh,
Down
really
to just
smart.
12 workers.
Yeah, I mean, there were 6 worker kills from the Banshee on the other side of the map for Azure, so it started off okay, but as soon as this hit, you know, it was too little too late. He had really no options. A second Banshee's going to come out, but at the end of the day, he has no SCVs. He's got 11, and of course he has mules as well, but I can't imagine many of these 11 SCVs surviving this onslaught of Lings, because all MightyKiwi has to rally. And, yes. I'll agree with that.
Oh man, yeah. Skimping on that bunker at the front really costing this time around. If he had the bunker, he could at least try and repair it or something. But yeah, I mean, cutting corners like that is what pros tend to do sometimes, you know, if they think they can get away with it, and this time he just couldn't. I mean, he does have 3 command centers, but he's at 0 SCVs at this stage, so he's gonna have to rely on the mules to kind of replenish his even canceling stims. So this Azure has pretty much no mid game. It calls out the GG. A little sarcasm mixed in there as well, just spice things up.
Is he seriously gonna do this?
I guess he is. Yeah. I think maybe he's a little mad and wants to calm down before the next match. That's totally understandable.
Well, they did warn us that the next match was going to take 2 hours.
Oh god.
So they're not just doing it for the sake of trolling us. I would like to eat at some stage today. Probably. Yeah. We've been kind of gross, like stuffing our faces with food in between breaks when we can.
Yeah.
Cast a life, man.
Noodles and coffee can only take you so far into the day.
Them empty carbs. Delicious.
Yeah.
A few more links coming in here to wreak some havoc. Looks like you will finally be able to fend these Banshees off with that new Spore being repositioned out the front there. It doesn't quite get the third one.
Last bastion of hope goes down as that Banshee gets taken out. He has 2 Marines here. Can they do it against this massive amount of Lings? We'll see. It doesn't look like it. GG gets
Power
called out.
Mules. Not strong enough this time around. MightyKiwi takes game number 1. Gets 1 step closer to going to the very grand finals. Looks like King Kong is online, so we'll probably have 1 more match after this.
All right. Do we know what the next map is?
We might have. Let me scroll on up.
Oh, Dusk, yeah. Alright. A little bit. This map, it is a little bit harder to go for those kind of Baneling all-ins, because the ramp is a lot narrower, and you can sometimes get some nice Reaper bombs, or even a siege tank or something could do really well against that, but we'll see. As you're kind of alluding to the Liberator shenanigans in the chat right now. So maybe we get to see that build.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it strangely almost worked the first time. Like, apparently 18 Liberators is kind of hard to kill.
Yeah.
Having Corruptors against it isn't so bad, though.
Yeah, no. As long as you spread the Corruptors out, even if all the Liberators are in anti-air mode, they tend to do pretty good. In the early stages of beta, like a lot of players were going like Roach, Ravager, Corruptor, because Terrans are just going bio with Liberators, and a lot of times the Zergs are just going to A-move their Corruptors, and they'd all be stacked up. They'd all evaporate. But Zergs have kind of learned from that and stopped doing that against me, so I do get rolled if I just go Bio Liberator these days.
Alrighty, we're in Dust Towers for game number 2, and in the top right, he's the Purple Terran from Echo Esports Down 01. This is Azure.
And in the bottom left-hand position, spawning as the Teal Zerg for SYF, it's MightyKiwi. Going for that extractor trick every time. I wonder if anyone's done the math on that yet, because I remember in like Wings of Liberty and some of Heart of the Swarm, people were kind of arguing whether or not it was better to do the extractor trick or not, and eventually people just stopped doing it. But maybe, you know, with the economic changes that happened, it could potentially be better. Who knows?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a thread somewhere about it on Team Liquid. I'm sure someone
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
There's usually someone that goes and like sits around testing it for ages. Like when people first started playing this and they did all the double extractor tricks to just get more drones out of the lava. Yeah, there was all kinds of different versions of it, but yeah, I don't know, it surely can't be that much of a difference. Like either way, even if one's better than the other, I can't see them being like, well, this guy lost the game because he extracted tricked.
Right.
Like, maybe in a ZvZ, if you got like super wrecked by something, I don't know, that's like the only possible scenario I can think of.
Yeah, it would only really affect you in like the mirror matchups, if it would even affect you. But looks like Azure going for a pretty standard build thus far. Reaper expand. We'll see if he follows this up with a Marine or something like that. That seems to be the way he likes to open. Yeah, there we go. The Marine starts. On the other side, MightyKiwi just started his link speed as well as pumping out just a pair of links. Maybe he's going to add another pair. A lot of Zergs tend to go for 2 pairs, plus the Queens to fend off this early Reaper. Do need to stay on alert though, because one Reaper can end up doing quite a lot of damage if you let your guard down. Whenever I try to play Zerg, you know, just once in a while, just to try it out, I do vastly underestimate how good Reapers are if you don't know how to respond to them.
Oh yeah, me too. Even like actually taking a bit of a break from StarCraft and then getting back into it.
Yeah.
Defending against Reaper is just like, they're all made of jelly and they just slide past you and they kill all your drones and you just don't know what's happening because you're like, I swear I'm doing this right. I have 4 queens and all these lings. I don't understand. Yeah. Even if you're just like a little bit rusty, Reapers can be just that little bit harder to deal with. But luckily all these guys are way better than me and that doesn't really happen to them. I mean, they'll lose the occasional drone, but that's just exactly what it is. It's occasional.
Yeah. Now looks like MightyKiwi is going to try and attempt to take this third now. With the link speed finishing up, he should be able to accomplish this without any problem. Let's just going to delay it with a grenade for the tiniest little bit more, but not a big deal. MightyKiwi gets that third up, and looks like he's going to switch the barracks back onto the reactor, put the starport on the tech lab. A Liberator is being made. The fusion core's out on the way, so we're going to see the Liberator range build here, dubbed the Bunny TVZ build. Nathanius has a tutorial on it on his YouTube channel, so if you guys want to learn how to do this build, go check that one out. That's where I learned it. It's super fun. A lot of Zerg rage ensues on the ladder because of it. Yeah, it's a super fun build.
For sure. It's just all about that positioning, man. You get it on the mineral line, and especially if a Zerg doesn't know how to deal with it, or they're doing something that doesn't involve them getting a spire.
Yeah.
There's big problems on the horizon for them, because then they have to change their plan and they have to be ready to adapt to be able to get that. And like, if you don't even have a spire started when this hits, oh my god, that's so long before you can get something to do with it. You might be able to. Can you take them out with Ravagers if they're like at this max range? Yeah.
I mean, you do need to go into the liberation zone, so you'll lose like 1 Ravager.
Yeah.
So that's kind of annoying, but I mean, 1 Ravager for 1 Liberator, that's a good trade, especially if you can, because I mean, the Terran does commit quite a bit of resources into this. You got to build the fusion core as well as the range. It's not cheap investment, and it does delay your upgrades as well as your other infrastructure. So
yeah,
this is gotta take that
we
into
now
consideration.
have 12 roaches on the way for MightyKiwi. May want to pressure with these. He's taking a third base and trying to get some creep spread up as well, so it could just be for a bit of a poke while he drones up behind that, but we'll see how much he commits to it. Oh, it's actually going to be a Nidus.
Oh.
What were you saying about Niduses earlier?
Yeah, I want to see some. I want to see how Terrans try and hold it.
Maybe Azure's about to school you, man. Or maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
We'll
not.
have to
Who
find
knows?
out.
I think it's going to come down to just because he committed to this many Liberators, if he can have the Liberator zones like on the Nidus before it pops. Because if you have like 2 Liberators have in siege mode over the Nidus network, they'll just snipe any queen that comes out, because they do. Maybe they 3-shot them. I believe it is 3 shots.
3, yeah.
Oh, and here we go. Does Azure spot it is the question.
He's
His
not
army
paying
isn't
attention.
moving.
Yeah, he's not looking at it. He's building racks.
no.
Okay, he just saw it now, but I don't think he's paying attention. Oh my god, no! And out it comes. The queens are all out first, and he evacuates straight away. He knows he just can't hold on to this right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, that's so many roaches and queens in the natural of Azure, and Azure just doesn't have that much in the way of a ground army, just because he did commit to the Liberator harass, and he's gonna pay the price. And the price is gonna be heavy because SCPs are already falling, and just reinforcements keep pouring through that Nidus network. I just don't know if he can hold this one.
No,